We live? Are we live? Looks like some of the stuff I want to do is not going to be. All right. Good day, Baltimore, DMV. Is our housing market finally tipping towards a buyer's market? There's been a lot of talk lately. Uh, where's the housing market going? Real estate agents leaving the business, all kinds of turmoil. Um, from DC's condos to Fairfax suburbs, things seem to be shifting. Tonight, we'll dive into what's happening, what's coming in 2025. Do you know what's happening in 2025? And for those of you who've been on the fence, how you can win. If you don't think about that often, how can we win when everything's been looking crazy lately, right? How can we win? Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're investing, it's time to make a plan so that you can win. Nationally, homes are taking about 6 to 7 weeks to sell. 6 to 7 weeks. I get I have conversations all the time, and people start talking about, uh, especially other agents that have the home on the market, and even some of the brokers, etc. They're saying, "Hey, you got to get a price reduction. You got to just the time on the market is too stale. It's going to go stale." No, average time on the market is 6 to 7 weeks or so. So 6 to 7 weeks means what, about a month and a half, almost 2 months. So when I talk to folks that's looking to sell right now, we have that conversation. Your home, depending on where it is, might be on the market 60 days before you get a buyer or you get a contract. But there's some hot spots like Arlington that are closer, Arlington, Virginia, that's closer to like 5 weeks, so almost closer to your 30-day mark that we're used to, about a month or so on the market. Folks, we got to forget about 2020 and down around COVID. Homes stay on the market 7 days, and then they're selling. That's just not where we are. We're shifting, and that's what we're talking about here. The market is shifting, and we're going away from a seller's market into a buyer's market. Inventory is up 20-25% across the region. This has given buyers more choices than we've seen in years. Years. Buyers are now possibly not going to be confined to 20 offers on that property because there's more inventory now for buyers to choose from. And right now, there's not as many buyers in the market. Now, there's a bunch of different things that everybody's looking at: inflation, interest rates, whether the interest rates are keeping folks not in the market. But more opportunities surely for buyers in the market right now. Matter of fact, there have been more opportunities for buyers in the market for the last year or so. Buyers just follow the wrong guidelines. Now, I had a conversation with a guy earlier today, and the analogy that I gave was a lot of people like Michael Jordan tennis shoes, right? And every time they do a release, everybody goes and stands out in front of whatever the new downtown locker room, etc. And only a certain amount of people are going to go get those shoes. But there's always a line. Now, the price that they're going to pay for those shoes is a crazy price. And some people actually go in and stand in a line, come back out with the shoes, and let's say they bought the shoes for $250, and somebody in that line who either didn't want to stand in the line or who is in the line, who was in the line, and they didn't get in so that they can buy, will pay $500 or so for the shoes that the guy has in his hands that he just went in and bought for 250. The crazy thing is, about 3 months or so later, those same shoes get stock in the store and they sell at regular price. This is what happened with housing, folks. For some reason, everybody start talking about buying houses, and then everybody rides the wave. Right now, nobody's talking about it. Right? A lot of people not even talking about getting into the business. Why? Because nobody's talking about making big money right now. But when the interest rate drop, it's going to cause a problem, folks. And that buyer's market, it's going to may end up being a flat line or back to a seller's market, because those buyers want to see the lower interest rate and they're all going to jump back into the market. They're going to mess themselves up. And then we'll be back to, they'll be overpaying again. Your Columbia, Maryland market will have uh, 50, $100,000 on over the asking price, leaving folks out. They can't buy. So the interest rates are not the only challenge. The challenge is having an education when you should make a move. Most times when they talk about the stock market, right? When they talk about the stock market, what do they tell you? They tell you buy low and sell high. If you pay attention to the stock, it's the same thing. When nobody's buying, you buy. But that's the little tip I'm going to give you. I'm getting back onto my points. So let's get you folks involved. Are you seeing deals in your neighborhood? Put in the comments if you can, whether you're seeing on Facebook or you're seeing on YouTube. Um, I'm still working with this technology to figure out how to, so I can see the comments on both. Uh, but I will answer any questions or anything from the comments after the show. Um, are you seeing deals in your neighborhood? DC, Bethesda, Baltimore, Owens Mills, Randallstown. What are you seeing out there? Fairfax, Virginia. What are you seeing? Put something in the comments. Well, tonight we're going to break down why the Baltimore to DMV inventory is growing, uh, what prices are doing, and all the hot trends like smart homes. Plus, stick around for tips on how to navigate this market. Don't go anywhere. So in DC, condos and co-ops are softening. 25% more listings than last year are sitting 10% longer on the market. Single family homes, still competitive, especially in Northwest. Buyers are getting picky though, and sellers are starting to cut prices. Well, let's talk about that for a quick second, because that's not only happening in DC. Baltimore, which is relatively a cheaper market, oh boy, the picky buyers are out there. There's no more the buyers are out there saying, I gotta have this house. They want open floor plan, and they want all the aesthetics that come with that floor plan, and they want it at the price that they want for it. Most of them are needing closing costs, help, etc. So the sellers are really taking a hit. What I've seen, most of these flip guys are probably, and if anybody's out there and they're watching, they can put in a comment. Most of the flip guys are probably taking a hit of 6%, up to 6% closing costs help for the buyers in Baltimore. And probably, and with the new uh, uh, buyer agents commission ruling, they could be paying upwards 9% before they even get to the regular closing costs, because they also may have to pay that agent's commission. So if any investors out there and you're seeing this, please put in the comments, are you paying uh, a large portion out on your closing costs for buyers in Baltimore? And then please add in Baltimore and other areas. Are the buyers picky now? What are you seeing now? Are you seeing picky buyers? And with the sellers starting to get to cut prices, again, that's hitting sellers in the head, because if they cut prices and then buyer comes in and asks for all this different stuff, that this just adds a crazy thing for sellers. So at one time we were looking, where are the sellers? Now the sellers are looking for the buyers. Market gets crazy. Over in Maryland, especially over in Prince George's County, uh, they're considered to be the affordable champ when it comes to the uh, suburban counties. Median home prices around 450,000. Montgomery County is a little bit on the higher end, pushing around 750,000 for the median home prices. And what we're also seeing is a slight uptick in foreclosures as the demands actually start to cool. But then you got over there in Virginia. I don't know what's going on. I got know a couple of investors are jumping over into Virginia. It's different. Fairfax, Arlington, that's where the action that is right now. Inventory is up 30% in some spots, with sellers dropping prices 5 to 7% to move homes. Tyson Corners office market is tight, but vacancies are still high at 18%. Now, when I'm going there, the information I got switched me over in Tyson Corner to talk a little bit more about commercial. So we're speaking about office rates in Tyson's Corner. But nationally, inventory is at about a 4.5 month supply, but the DMV is closer to a little under 4 months supply. What's going on, I believe, is our federal job base keeps us steadier than some other areas. Say like Florida's 40% inventory spike. And Florida, everybody wants to flock to Florida, but what's been going on lately, because the Florida housing market has been pretty expensive. Once it was cheap, but after COVID, things just took off in Florida. So, what's the market like in your corner of the DMV? If you have any information, put it in the comments. Are Fairfax sellers cutting prices? Are DC buyers scoring deals? Let's hear it. What you got? Put it in the comments. Again, I can't see the comments, the chat now, but once I get off live, I can go to the comments and I'll respond. Now, let's see if I can do this real quick. Uh-oh, where did that go? All right, so DMV inventory growth. This chart is showing the growth Since May 2024 to May of 2025, Fairfax is up almost 30%, or right at 30%, an increase of inventory. DC increase is up 25%, PG County 20%, Montgomery County 15%. Fairfax is leading the pack here, folks. Buyers, that's where you want to hunt for deals. This shows Fairfax and Prince George's are shifting fastest, and sellers they got competition now. Before they didn't have competition, right? So just wanted to share that. Now, I believe, and the statistics show that DC prices should stay stable, uh, growing 2%. So let's think 600,000 median. Suburbs like Maryland might dip 1 or 2%, especially in the oversupplied area. So if you're in a home, let's say where's that? Let's say Carroll County. I say Carroll County is oversupplied in one of the neighborhoods, or one of the areas in let me see what, let's say Brandywine or somewhere like that, in PG, going into Charles County. Let's say that there's this oversupply there, then those home prices could go down more, could dip more than 1 and 2%. But I'll tell you this, folks. I'll tell you this, and tell me, there's always somebody talking crazy, but most of the news you hear out there in regards to real estate, there is no, there is no, there's no crash coming. There's no crash coming. There's not a crash coming in sight. Where is the crash going to come from? Because here's the thing, again, let's go back to this again. If the Feds cut unless something catastrophic happened, if the Feds cut the interest rates, and if they go a half a point next week and another half a point after that, we'll be down in back interest rates down in the fives. Now, with interest rates down in the fives, come on, man, folks are going to jump back in the market. Now, this is what I educate on, because this is the thing that folks don't pay attention to. I know young folks don't like it as well, but because they argue the fact of, well, what you're about to speak on, the interest rates were higher, but the home prices was lower. But our salaries were lower. So here I go. 1995, 1997, bought my first house. Interest rate was 8%. Wait a minute, interest rate 8%. Right now it's how much? Somewhere around six something, right? So you buy a house right now. You bought a house last year. You bought a house cheaper interest rate than what I paid in 1997. Yes, 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 yes. My house was cheaper. It was, but my income was less. I'm probably making nowhere near what a lot of young people's make today, right? 1995, one of my cousins bought a house, right? Big house, 4 bedrooms, whatever, 2-car garage. Interest rate was 13%. Oh, but he paid less. Same thing. Income was less. So, folks, the opportunities is when you can get a deal, not so much interest rate high or low. If you find a deal, especially when interest rates are higher, because there's less people out buying, it's not like when folks are going to the downtown locker room to buy their Jordans. They're not lining up. So therefore, just like right now with the statistics I just shared with you guys, the inventory is going up, giving you more opportunity to go out and look for homes without having to rush. You can make your decision, right? Now you can't be real slow, but you have more time now to make a decision on how you want to purchase your home to find exactly what you want in the area that you want, etc. Now, with the with there being no crash, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about the whole DMV again. DMV buyers loves 2025 vibe. Uh, uh, Are you with me on that? Put it in the comments. So smart home techs like Nest thermostats in Arlington, new build solar panels in Montgomery County, and earthy tones. Think warm browns, not sterile grays. These can boost resale value. Now, you let me know, are those the trends for you guys out there right now? Warm brown, not that gray anymore. So, and flip investors, are you guys going with warm brown, or are you still using the grays that you were been using? And there's always some type of new regulation going on. Why is there always some type of new regulation? So in DC, DC is pushing for multifamily zoning to ease the 4.4 million unit shortage in DC. So look for more condos and rentals, especially in wards 7 and 8. Affordability is tough. 54% of renters are cost burdened. Very tough in DC. Very tough in DC for those renters. Though DC is for surely. I think they're using what's called DOPA to actually, if landlords are selling multi units, the city will buy those units if they already have affordable rents, and then allow for those renters that are already in the units to sustain affordability, and allow for new folks to have, because the affordability is horrible, and that's why they really got rid of they don't really want Airbnb in DC, because it takes the affordability opportunity away from the DC residents. But here's some things to watch for. Watch for rising insurance costs from weather events, but lower rates may be 5.5 by late 2025. And this could really spark sales. Commercial's tricky. DC office vacancies are at 18% right now, but the data centers are hot for investors. Data centers. Now, this is a little bit off the topic, right? I pulled some data that's a little bit off the topic, because I want to start talking about some other things, because one of the things that we again, when we're talking real estate, we're talking about wealth building, etc. Right? We're talking about opportunities. Where are we right now in life? We're in the information age, right? If you're looking for a business, information is what? It's also data, right? And so what this was just speaking on is data centers. Data centers are going to be big, and data centers is where these big servers, etc., are holding all of the information that's circulating all through the world. Business opportunity to look into. I just shared a nugget with you. It's a possible business opportunity, and we're talking about a business opportunity that you just need some guys. You find out how to properly construct the data center. You're not dealing with food. You're dealing with electricity, regular power, etc. And you need somebody that knows how to networking and all of that stuff. Just sharing it with you. So in 2025, what trends excite you? Put it in the comments. Is it smart homes, new condos? Let me know in the comments what excites you in 2025. home buyers out there. I mean, well, any buyers. A lot of folks um, now in a different uh, tax bracket, range, you might want to look into Prince George's County when you're looking at pricing. Don't take nothing from Baltimore. I'm talking to folks that you maybe you're in the government, work in DC, etc. Right? Maybe you're in Montgomery County and home prices are just just getting crazy. Can you find a deal in Prince George's County right now? Remember, Prince George's County median home prices are 450,000, and we just said possibly Montgomery County is about 750,000. So can you change your commute to work and maybe find that dream home in Prince George's County versus some of the other counties, especially Montgomery? Now, one of the things that I've read is with Loudon's new build with rate buy down can keep the payments under 25% of your income, and you can lock in the fixed rate. I'm being told. So if there's any loan offers out there, put it in the comments. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Those sellers in Fairfax, make sure you price your property smart. That way they won't sit on the market line on long. Sellers all over. Stop chasing last year's. We can't use if your agent, and I may be wrong for saying this, but I'm going to say it. If your agent is doing a CMA and he or she is going all the way out past 90, past 60, I'm going to say really past 60, 60 days sold property. Um, that CMA is not going to probably serve you well because homes are not selling the way that they were selling last year, 121 days ago, 90 days ago. And my broker owner, Greg Bennett, always he's big on this. You may want to get that property staged. And you might stage it. I don't know about this, but I'm gonna share this information with Sherman. Might want to stage with some moody earth tones. What do you guys think about that? Put it in the comment. Moody earth tones. Are you down for moody earth tones? But all in all, avoid overpricing if you can. Don't overprice. That's going to cause you a problem. Don't overprice. Start out with a number that makes sense. Now, it's hard to get this. Let's have this conversation real quick. When you're selling real estate or you're selling anything, you don't have to sell anything for less or more than what you want to sell it for, right? It does not hurt if you put your house on the market much lower so that you can get more attraction. That does not mean that that's what you got to sell your house for. Now, what it can mean is the market may speak, right? Let's say you got a house for 500,000 and you decide, well, let's listen to Marcellus. We're going to price it ahead of the market. So you decide the price of that 450. And it's at 60 days now, nothing's happened, right? Now, this is what I want you to keep in mind. If it's at 60 days, some people are going to tell you different, but I'm telling you, that doesn't mean you have to do price reduction. And in a shifting market, that doesn't mean price reduction. That means we're going back to a market where it takes 60 days to sell a house. or so. So that doesn't mean price reduction. Now, can it mean possibly, depending on how many showings, et cetera, you get, that maybe you're still overpriced? That could mean that. It possibly could mean that, but I'm not 100% that that actually means that. That just, in my opinion, that just means that it takes the buyer a little longer to find that house. And I've seen that plenty of times. Never changed the price, just waited for the right buyer. That right buyer comes, buys the house at that price, done deal. So don't let these, don't let the agents give you these 100-day CMAs. It's no good right now. No good at all. I have some folks looking at DC rentals. Strong demand. A little bit more pricier, right? Who out there knows about distress offices in Tyson's Corner, etc.? But if you get into that commercial arena, please, please, please avoid heavy debt. About one, it's reported that about 1.8 trillion of commercial loans mature in 2026. 1.8 trillion in commercial loans mature in 2026. That could cause a problem in the commercial world. Because what are the interest rates? What are they paying now? Are they profitable so that they can refinance, etc.? That could be a problem. So I haven't used this tool yet, but check out app. Reventure app. REVENTURE app. And this app is supposed to help track local inventory. Because always remember, knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is what? Power. So all in all, the DMV market is balancing out. No crash, more options. Buyers negotiate, sellers price right. Investors think rentals or data centers. I'm going to look that up myself tonight. Data centers. How can I open up a data center? Anybody out there know anybody to open up a data center? Put it in the comments. So anybody out there, put in the comments what's happening in your market, in your area. Anybody out there planning to buy in Arlington, Virginia? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Who's selling in Silver Springs? I do have one person thinking about selling in Silver Springs. Anybody selling in Baltimore? Put it in the comments. Call me. Folks, I enjoy you, and I hope you enjoyed the little information I prepared for you guys. But I'm going to leave you on this. Don't try to time the market. Get financially ready. And thanks for tuning in to Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall and the DMV. And I'll see you next week.